Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Magic the Gathering. So I decided to do some videos for a bunch of packs that I've already opened, but they're still, in the packs. It's essentially opening. I just already opened them at one point, but I haven't looked through them for a little while. So we're gonna see what we got. So it's semi-new to me. But here we have Commander Legends, so we're gonna open up a bunch of packs from there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. If you're not familiar with the Commander Legends set is, so Commander is a format that they made so you make a 100 card deck. Also used to be called Elderhead Dragon until the Wizards Magic the Gathering officially adopted it as a format. But you make a 100 card deck. All your cards have to be, you can only have one copy of each card in your deck outside of basic lands. So you usually have like 20 or 30 basic lands and then like the other 70 so cards, or whatever your ratio is, all have to be different cards. And that makes it interesting because then when you're forming your decks, you can't play 4 copies of Spark or 4 copies of a counterspell. You have to look, okay, I gotta find something that does the same thing. Maybe this one costs a little bit more from this other set or this. And then, like any Magic thing, you can play them in, like, sort of like Standard or Legacy or however you want to play them. So I only use cards from current sets, or I can use anything I have in my collection, which, does stuff differently. The other thing they also do is you start with one legendary creature, who's your commander. And that's why it kind of gets to the commander word. And you also have more hit points and stuff, too. Your deck has to be, I think your deck has to be 100 cards or more. I think you can go more than 100, but it has to be a minimum of 100 cards. And I could be 100% wrong on that. They could have changed that at some point, because they're always changing the rules on. But you basically play a legendary card, that's your commander. And then whatever colors that card is what your deck has to be. So if you play a mono black legendary creature, all your cards in your deck have to be black or colorless. If you play a 5-color dragon, then you can use all 5 colors. You don't have to use all 5. If you play a red-green berserker legendary, you can only use red and green. And it also makes your thing. But then you also have another mechanic where your commander starts outside of your deck. You can pay for them to bring them into play. And then, like, every time they get defeated, they go back out instead of in your discard pile. And you have to spend another, I think, 1 more mana every time to recast them. And it's just a little bit different format. So then they made this set, because Commander becomes so popular, they've been making Commander decks for a couple years now. So they made this set. Basically, these are cards, lots of reprints from older sets and stuff like that. I mean, they have a new set symbol and everything. But they're cards that you figure, okay, these are really going to help people in the Commander. They do good stuff that, they need to repeat, or maybe that people from older sets need to get a hold of. So we're going to jump through this, see what we got. We have Doom Traveler. Doom Traveler dies, creates a 1/1 white spirit token with flying. The Volcanic Invoker. So you can pay 8, deals 3 damage to target creature. So 8 might be really hard to do in standard Magic, but Commander, you're going to hit that probably a lot more, because you have so much more health. You might come across it more often. Preordain. Scry 2, draw a card. Soul's Might, put X 1/1 counters on target creature where X is that creature's power. Crow of Dark Tidings, Zombie Bird. Flying, when it enters play, or enters the battlefield, or dies, mill 2 cards. Rummage Goblin, discard a card, draw a card. Goblin Rogue. Bigger Revelation, look at your top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the rest in your graveyard, lose 2 life. That's helpful. I mean, it's a risk, but gets you something. We have the Filgrease Familiar, Artifact Fox. Enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. When it dies, draw a card. Raise the alarm. Create 2 1/1 white soldier tokens. Annoyed Ultrasaur. Reach, Trample, and then Cascade. So Cascade, defined ability, says when you cast a spell, exile cards from the copy of your library into exit a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying. Exile card put in the bottom of your library in a random order. So when you play this card for 6, then you search your deck until you find a card that costs less than 6. You can play it for free. All the other cards go on the bottom of your deck. But then you could potentially hit another Cascade card. Boom, Cascade, Cascade. It's really fun. Eyeblade Assassin. Enters battlefield. Opponent creature gets -1/-1 until the end of turn. A Rupture Spryer. Enters battlefield tapped. Sacrifice it unless you pay 1. But then you can tap it for any color. Natural Reclamation. There's a Cascade again. So if you play the other guy and you cascade it into this, you can destroy target artifact enchantment, and then you can cascade again. So nice little trigger effects there. Now we're going to get to some uncommons. We have Faith's Fetter. Enchant Permanent. Faith's Fetter enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Enchanted Permanent can't attack or block. Its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana. Peon Blade. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. Meteor Golem. 7 cost. Enters the battlefield for a target non-land permanent opponent controls. And then we got some rare here. Cursive Recruiter. When it or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, gain control of target creature to the end of turn. Untap that creature during your turn. It gains haste, becomes a pirate in addition to its other types. And then I don't know why I have some uncommons mixed in here, but we have Feld, Shadow Familiar. Oh, it's because each one of these decks includes 2 legendary creatures. So it makes sure you get cards that work for your commander effect. So in this one that's why they're set off to the side. This is a weaker commander, so if you play this as your commander, you can only play black cards, and it's only a 2/2, so it's not very powerful. But since commanders you control have menace and gesture, and as his partner, you can have 2 commanders if you both have partner. So that's a new effect they added with this. So you can have this one and another one, so you could be running mono-colored, or dual-colored deck, or 3-color deck, depending on whatever cards have partner. We could get Death Touch and Menace. And the other one we got was Arumani of the Dead Tide. Exile target card from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents you have. Target creature you control gains Encore till the end of the turn. Encore cost is equal to its mana cost. So exile creature, pay for its mana cost for each opponent, create a copy token, it attacks the opponent this turn. They gain haste, sacrificing at the beginning of the next end step. So exile cards from your graveyard equal to the number of opponents you have. So if you're playing a 1-player game, this isn't very strong, but if you're playing a 5-player game, it's awesome. Target creature cards in your graveyard gain Encore till the end of the turn. Encore is equal to its mana cost. So you can exile that card and bring them in to do a free attack. Again, because this could be your commander if you want, you can bring them out whenever you need them. Then we got a foil, Silverback Shaman. And he dies, draw a card. And an Elf Warrior token. Ultra Pro on the back. Alright, so now you got the idea of what's in there. So what makes the Commander Legend set very vastly different than the other sets is because all the cards are random. I mean, they're all random in the pack, but I mean, there's no coercive theme. Like, you get Strixhaven, one of the newer sets. That's all based on the different schools. You get like one of the guild sets, a guild pack. They're based on the guilds. If you get like Amet's based on the Egyptian stuff, or Keldaheim's Norse, Eldraine's fairy tales. They all have themings. This is just random cards, essentially. but they work really well. So the other thing, that's why I loved buying commander decks, because I got like 50, 60 brand new, or 50, 60 different cards in like a deck, because you had 100 cards minus their lands. But they were all different cards, and they're scattered from all different sets throughout the years. So that's why the commander decks were really fun, for that reason, because you're getting a bunch of cards that maybe you didn't get before, or maybe you have to look at something a little bit differently, because they had how can I have 4 counter spells in a deck, or how can I have 4 pump spells that are, just kind of neat. I'm not going to sit here and read every effect on these, because otherwise it's going to be like a 2-hour video, and I'm not going to have a voice. But we have Lifecrafter's Gift, Welding Sparks, Flood of Recollection, Corpse Churn, a Spark Tongue Dragon, Scrapdriver Serpent, Thorn of the Black Rose, Courtstream Denizen, Sentinel Spider, Furlid, Straight Up Murder, it's a good card, Command Spirits, this is a card specifically for a commander. So add 1 color of any of your commander's identity, sacrifice it to draw a card. So if you're playing blue-black, you can play this, you can either draw blue or black. Trusty Pack Beast, or uncommons here, Make a Stand. Burnished Heart, the Hero's Blade. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield you control, you may attach it for free. Then we're going to get our mythic rare that we pulled. Apex Devastator, Hydra Chimera. Cascade, 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 Cascade. So I was just telling you them Cascade effects can combine. This guy does it 4 times in a row. And you can hit other Cascade abilities. This is one of the few Hydras that doesn't have like X abilities, but damn, that's crazy, because you're gonna get at least 4 cards at bare minimum. So that's awesome. So here's our legendary creatures. Glacian, the Power Stone Engineer, Human Artificer. So I love this because this set also allows them to pull. They make brand new legendary creatures that we don't know about. Could be from realms that we haven't heard of yet. Stuff like that. They're also pulling from Magic history. So Glacian's from the Artifact cycle. Way back in the early days of Magic, during the Dominaria original saga. This is before Gerard and the Weatherlight. Way before that. Way before Urza was a big giant, and the Brothers' War was a big giant thing. So he created Power Stones, which are basically Magic engineered stones. So he has tap X untapped artifacts you control, which is your top X card of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Then he has Partner, like that cat did. And then we also have Radiant, Sarah Archangel. Which is again another famous character from the lore. Untapped creature you control flying. Radiant, Sarah Archangel gains protection from color of your choice, and Partner. So I could partner these two together. They don't work together, but if I want to make a blue-white deck, I could definitely do it. This is what I had. We have Ionic Judgment, and then we have a Salamander Warrior card. Which the fact is you get 2 legends every pack. Plus they're 20 card packs because they're meant for drafting. That's the other thing I didn't mention on here. This is specifically designed for drafting as well, which is also why they're a lot more kind of randomish. So there's more cards because they want you to buy 3 of these and then draft with them, but they want more cards because they're making a bigger deck. So you have Sailor of Means, Human Pirate. Soul's Might, Boarding Party, Deranged Assistant, Universal Solvent, Defiant Salvager, Entourage of Trust, Malphine Twins. A different zombie. We have Scarab Goliath. Another Court Street Denizen. Ambush Viper. Commander Spear. Trusty Pack Beast. Golem Artisan. It's one of our uncommons. Another one, we have Fathom Fleet Swordjack. Which is a bunch of stuff in his Encore. Nadir's Nightblade. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life, we gain 1 life. I love it's every token, not token creature. Create treasure decks. Sacrifice your treasures for mana. Boom. Here's our rare. We have Opposition Agent. When you're playing, you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. When an opponent is searching the library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. You may spend mana as though there were any mana type to cast them. That is crazy. Especially for not being a legendary. Alright, so here's our legendaries. We're gonna get a Breakish Browsing, a Plunderer, Goblin Pirate, Menace. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal damage to your opponent, exile the top card of each of those opponent's libraries. You may play those cards this turn. You may spend mana as though there's mana of any color set. Actually works nice with the last card. We got another pirate to go right with that. Zara, the Renegade Recruiter. When she attacks with a defending player's hand, you may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And we got foil Soul Spire. And we got an Angel token. So if you're looking to get legend cards, this is a great way to do it. You want a bunch of extra random cards, this is a great way to do it. Alright. Alright, so we got a Molder Beast. Goblin Trailblazer. I hope Goblin Pirate. Preordain. Blade Brand. Creature gains Death Touch, draw a card. Nothing wrong with that. Crimson Fleet Commodore Ogre Pirate. I love the various pirates. Fire Canadier. Sky Whaler Shot. The Fangclad Fugitives. Elf Salamander Rogue. Multi-types are neat to me. Thorn of the Black Rose. Pilgrim's Eye. Hand of Cage. Or Cage of Hands, rather. Spectral Searchlight. Choose a player. That player adds 1 mana of any color they choose. It's kind of neat. So you need a little co-op in there if you need to. Maelstrom Colossus. 8 cost 7/7 Cascade. That's nuts. Here's some uncommons. We have King's Lieutenant. Bird Soldier with Encore. Frenzied Saddlebrute. All creatures can attack your opponent and planeswalkers your opponent controls as if they had haste. Nice. Thought Vessel. You have no maximum hand size, add a colorless mana. That's definitely a great card to have. Throw that in my Howling Minds deck. Our rare card is Kamal's Will. Choose one. You control a commander as you cast a spell. You may choose both. At the end of your turn, any number of lands you control become 1/1 elementals with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. Or choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control does damage equal to its power to that creature. Nice. Plus they become 1/1 and you can't die. So here are our legendaries. We have Hans Eriksson, who's a reference to a card that's Ak Hans Run from like way back in the day. So it says when Hans Eriksson attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it in the battlefield, tap an attacking defending player or planeswalker they control. Otherwise, put that card into your hand. When you put a creature into the battlefield space, it fights Hans Eriksson. packs. Interesting. Alright, and our other one is Obec Brute Chronologist, an Ogre Wizard, which is a neat combo. Multicolored, so you can have green, or blue, black, or red in your deck then. Target player whose turn it is may end the turn. Exile all spells, abilities, and stack player whose turn it is discards down to their maximum hand size. Damage wears off this turn into end. That's pretty sweet. You can basically just end a turn. But the thing is, you can't force it. You can tap this to use the ability, and then whoever's turn it is can choose to end it. So again, it could be something really helpful to your opponents. You're trying to work with someone. We have a null color, which is a rare foil, and we have a artifact golem. All right, we got 4 packs to go. Rummaging Goblin, Deranged Assistant, Universal Solvent, Boarding Party, Omen Speaker, Inspiring Roar, the Marble Diamond, Thorn of the Black Rose. You're going to start getting duplicates because that's just what's going to happen. Murder, Path of Ancestry. Like 1 mana, any color your commander's colors are going to use. When mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature's type with your commander, scry 1. So if you theme it a little bit better, that's actually pretty cool. A Vow of Lightning. So I gotta throw that definitely in my lightning deck. These are uncommons. Supreme Will. Choose 1 target counter spell unless target player plays 3, or with the top 4 cards of your library, choose 1, put them in your hand. Oh, neat. A tutor or a counter spell. Definitely great for blue. Victimize. Choose 2 target creatures in your graveyard. Sacrifice a creature. If you do, return chosen cards to the battlefield tapped. Oh, nice. So basically, swap out 2. Our rare card is the Undergrowth Stadium. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. So if you're playing a multiplayer game, you get it for free. Otherwise, but still taps for either one. Our legendaries are Tormig the Desecrator. Remember, 1 or more cards leave your graveyard. Create a tapped 2/2 zombie tokens partner. Nice. Zombie Wizard. And we get Obec, Architect of Ascension. So, previously we had Glacian, we had flavor text down the bottom for Obec, and now we have Obec for Glacian. So they're good partners together. They're human artificers. So artifacts you control have protect from each converted mana cost among the protection from each converted mana cost among the artifacts you control. Oh, that's crazy. So if you have like a 2-cost one, they all have protection from 2 costs. Then if you have a 3-cost, they all have protection from 3 costs. Where was he? Yeah, so there's him, there's hers, and there's his. So he has tap X untapped artifact you control with your top card of your deck, put them into your hand, and the rest on your grave, or in your graveyard. So if you have both of them, you can partner them together, which is kind of helpful. But then basically she can protect his artifacts from being destroyed, so you have more to tap to look for more cards to get what you need. And then you can also use that to be like, oh, I have artifacts out to cost 2, 3, and 5. I need something to break that 4. You can come search for that 4. That's kind of a crazy combination. Gale Strike. And we got an extra card. Just as in a lot of the decks, it's Prismatic Piper. If a Prismatic Piper is your commander, choose a color before the game begins. Prismatic Piper is a color to choose. Partner. So they included this in specific because this is a draft deck. So if I was playing and this is one of my draft decks, I would either have to play a white deck or a black deck. So the Prismatic Piper lets me throw it in. I lose my special ability when my commanders might give me, but I can play as any color, or I can partner this and play any other color. So I could, just with this deck, I could either play a black, a white, or I could combine this with my white one and I could play white plus one other color. So it's actually kind of a neat thing. They include that fairly often. And then we have copy, token. You can use your representative token as a copy of a permanent. I guess. Alright, let's see what else we got. Forceful Denial, Cascade Counterspell, nice. Haunted Cloak, Crimson Fleet Commodore, Aqueous Form, creature can't be blocked, nice. Defiant Salvager, start getting a lot of these two guys seem to be like, these 4 cards here seem to be stuck together in most of these packs. Ancestral Blade, enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 soldier, attach it to it, nice. The Opal Palace, another commander card, add 1 color of any commander color, spend it to cast your commander. Enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter equal to the number of times it's been cast from the commander zone this game. So every time you have to cast it, it costs more, but then if you have the Opal Palace out, basically you're going to get 1 extra mana to at least spend towards it, so it helps a little bit, but it also gets stronger every time, so hopefully it won't die as much. Pirate Cutlass, lets you attach it to a pirate. Uncommon card, we have Ingenuity Engine with Cascade. Sacrifices artifact, return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. Explosion of Riches, discard, draw a card, and each other player may draw a card. Whenever a card is drawn this way, it does 5 damage to target opponent chosen at random from among your opponents. Ooh, so that's kind of an interesting, risky card. So you draw a card, and then each other player may draw a card. So every time a card is drawn, you do 5 damage to target opponent chosen at random. So if you're playing a 5-player game, you draw a card, you're doing 5 damage. Then every other player can choose to draw a card, but every time they draw a card, there's a potential that they themselves or one of the other opponents is going to take damage. So you go like, hey, I can afford getting hit for 5, risk it, might do damage to someone else. 3 visits. Search your library for a forest, put the card in your battlefield, and shuffle your library. Interesting. Our rare card is Sakashima's Will. Choose one. If you control a commander as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control, you gain control of it. Nice. Or choose target creature you control, each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature till the end of turn. Oh, that could be some wicked effects. Alright, our legendaries are Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist, Core, Scout. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player. Nice. Free rare angel. And we got another Glacian. And we got a foil Armoru. So we got that. We got another Prismatic. So finally our best card we've gotten, a rock. Equipped creature has 1, tap it, sacrifice rock, do 2 damage to any creature. Just pick up a rock and bash someone with it. Alright. Portent of Betrayal. Trove Tracker. Molder Beast. Goblin Trailblazer. We've had a bunch of these. Sailor of Means. Wild Size. So we got Charcoal Diamond. Help to get that mana. Viscera Seer. Soul Spire. Captain's Call. Create tokens. Farhaven Elf. Benevolent Blessing. Protection. Amorphous Axe. Has +3 and is every creature type. It's kind of cool. That way it works with creature type decks. Our uncommons are Daring Saboteur. Choosing not make it to make it unblockable. Deals damage, combat damage to a player. You may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Patron of the Valiant. Enters the battlefield, put 1/1 cards on each creature you control with a 1/1. And Hunter's Insight. Choose target creature you control. When that creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, this turn draw that many cards. And our rare is Court of Ambition. Oh, so this adds the Monarch ability, which is a new thing in here. I just haven't drawn it yet. When Court of Ambition enters the battlefield, you become Monarch. It's basically the little token or the title that says you're the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card. If you're the Monarch, instead each opponent loses 6 life unless they discard 2 cards. So basically, if you play this, they're 3 life, they discard, and every time you can keep that Monarch ability, it becomes devastating. Then our Legendaries are a Knie Sky Warden. You've had a card that works with him. Bird, Wizard, Flying Vigilance. When he attacks, attacking creatures with flying get +2. Whenever he blocks, you get +2 defense. And then Lafiel, the Bounteous Dawn, green-white unicorn, lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, you have gained life this turn. Distribute that many number of 1/1 cards among any number of target creatures. Nice. What's neat, neither of these two had partner, so it's not always something you're going to get. Ripscale Predator. And then we got a Soldier token. Alright, so we got 1 pack left, and then we're done with Commander. This kind of, the Legendary thing reminds me they did it with War of the Spark, too, where you got 2 Planeswalkers. Or you got a Planeswalker guaranteed in every pack. But it was like a lesser version of the Planeswalkers, but still, it was awesome. Champion of the Flame, who gets 2/2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Beef that guy up. Aven Servitor, or Surveyor. Angelic Gifts. Dunhing Operative. Undying Rage. So now you throw this on that first guy. So he gets +2/+2. And can't block. When he's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand. So if you attach it to Champion, he gets +2/+2 for each aura. So he's a 1/1. So he'd gain +2/+2 for his ability, and +2/+2 for the other one. So he'd be a 5/5. And then with Trample, and if he does die for some reason, you get your aura back. Target Soul Spider, got that one again. Kingsvale Courier, Wild Size, Eyeboy Assassin, Filigree Familiar, Captain's Call, Prophetic Prism, Staunch Thornguard. Enters the field, you become the Monarch. So there's another way to become Monarch. Our uncommons are Intangible Virtue. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1, have Vigilance. Brass Herald. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Brass Herald enters the battlefield, reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all creature types of the chosen revealed into the tray from your hand, rescue the bottom. All creatures of the chosen type get 1/1. Nice. I can't think of what the term is. I want to say family type cards, but that's not the right thing. But yeah, working with creature types is really always fun. Volcanic Torrent, Cascade. Deals X damage to each creature and planeswalker your opponent controls, or X is the number of spells you've cast this turn. So you can cast a bunch, plus Cascade gets you at least 1 free one. Our rare is Nevingro's Disc. Enters the battlefield, tap, pay 1 to destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So it destroys itself, but for 1 you can destroy anything. So just putting that out is a good risk for everybody. Our legendary creatures are Ink Tech the Salvager Splicer, a human artificer. Salvage Splicer enters the field, create a 3/3 golem. So I believe it was not the Mirrodin set, but it's the Phyrexian one. God, I can't remember the name of it exactly. Well, it was the second time they went to Mirrodin. But they had lots of these guys that created the golems. I believe it was in that set. An artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield for the 1/1 counter on him and 1/1 counter each golem you control. And then we got another cat familiar, which we've had. Oh, it's Legendary. This old card. And we got a treasure token. Sacrifice to add 1 mana of any color. Alright, so that was our Magic the Gathering Legendary. I believe all the packs have the same art. Sure do. Yeah, so definitely if you see this sitting around, I know this is an older set, and you know, these videos aren't coming out like right after the sets come out, which I'd like to do when I buy sets. But I didn't get to it. But yeah, now so if you're wondering what these are, if you see them sitting around, now you know kind of idea what's in the commander decks. I mean, granted, now just go to wizards.com, look at the Magic website, see what's in packs. But if you want to check out videos instead, now you got an idea. See you guys later. Bye.